live once again. It's Thursday. Let me clean this lens a little bit. It's Thursday, 10 a.m. and I'm here for it. I'm already building something, and let me just quickly walk you through it, because unlike the other videos, I didn't do like an extremely cinematic intro. Instead, I did it a little bit differently today. So I have it on my laptop right here, and I will show you the drawing. Wait, I'll turn around. I think the drawing by itself might be a little bit cryptic. I'm trying to build a slide under couch laptop table with the idea that I can use the big monitor while I work on my laptop on the couch. And especially for editing, that's going to be a big game changer, because editing on a laptop screen, it's doable, but it's easier on a big screen. So that's what I want to work towards. So you can see like it has like an arc underneath. Sizes are there as well, 80 by 80 by 40, and I'm changing that already a little bit because I started a couple of minutes ago. Side view, so you see like the arc, a place for the laptop to go, and a shelf. And the idea with the shelf is that I can also put the big screen underneath, and then by doing so I can also use it to relax a little bit, to watch a movie or things along that line. And to the back I'm gonna make a built-in extension with a USB. So if we go back here, you can see the extension cord, two plugs and two USB underneath the monitor when it's underneath. Now, and to top it off, like this thing is also high enough to go over the desk, so I can just slide it over the desk and work at the desk if I feel the need for doing so. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Like this is the live stream, and I just find it so exciting. I find it so exciting because there's nothing quite like it. It's like a live performance. I have to do it right away, in the moment, and that's what we're here for right now. So my whole stick is to go against mediocrity, to build something with speed, style, and strength, and that's it right here. And I'll show a little bit more, because I already got a few pieces. I have the back piece here. This is 80 by 40, and on the table I just marked the width of the top part. It's going to be 40 by 60 instead of 40 by 80, because I think it's plenty, and with the leftover pieces of plywood I think it's more doable. So yeah, that's what I'm going to continue with. And actually I'm running a little bit low on my scrap plywood pile. Let me show you the stuff here. So I have a thin piece here and a long piece of 240 centimeters right here. I'll use a small piece of this one and maybe a little bit of that one. Anyways, I'll just put up the camera on my stand and get started. And yeah, drop in the chat any comments that you might have. If you have any questions, let it know. Also, drop in the comments where you're tuning in from. Like in the past, I had people from all over, literally, like from Greece, from England, from the US, from India, from Pakistan the last time even. So I find it so exciting, because I'm located here in the Caribbean. It's morning time here. It's just a few minutes after 10. And I can imagine, like in other parts of the world, it might be later at night. You might be relaxing after a long days at work. While over here in this part, it's morning. And how about that? That's really exciting. Now I'm gonna put together my stand for the phone, so I can have you next to me. And let me show you that as well. Well, just put it up quickly. Let's put down the phone for a minute. Oh. Put it like so. So drop in the comments where you're tuning in from, like which part of the world are you at, and how was your day, how is it going, and what is your project that you're working on, like how are you going against the mediocrity? Is my camera facing towards me actually? Yes, it was facing, okay. Yeah, so drop all it in the comments below, like what are you working on, like what is your preferred power tool, what time of the day is it, how is your day going, all of those things. I would like to get some connection going, some real talk, and what are your thoughts on against mediocrity? Anyways. Alright, I got the stand right here, so I'll put the phone up there. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna continue with the build. Yeah. Okay. See the screen. I'm pretty sure it's in the shot, so I'm running both my main camera and the phone, so double tasking right here, multitasking. Alright, I'll start by using the carpenter square as a guide, and then cut it as straight as I can. Alright. Alright, so this is the bigger sheet of plywood. I'll just cut off the end, so I'll just use the piece that I just cut to size. I'll just place it on top as precise as I can. And then I'll just mark the line, and that's going to be my next cut. Now the big sheet is so heavy, like I don't need to clamp it in or anything. Alright, so right now I have a bottom piece. I have this piece here and this piece here. Now the initial design was to have like an arc going down here, but I have this leftover piece here, and I'm very much tempted to put this in the middle instead, and to kind of forget about the arc, because it's there for design, it's not for strength, and I have a feeling this in itself is going to be strong enough, because what's going to stand here at the end is just the monitor. It's not going to hold a ton of weight, and if I just drive in a good bit of screws to the end here, I think it's going to be plenty strong. So I'm just going to adjust the design a little bit to suit that purpose, but yeah, I'm not sure whether you can see it on the live stream, but this plywood is pretty rough. This side is not too bad, but over here, extremely rough. So I'll spend a couple of minutes sanding everything down first before putting things together. Visible. Yep, visible. Alright, since the wood is quite okay on this side, but extremely rough on this side, of all the pieces I'm just gonna do this side first, and then I'll go to the rough piece, because I think it's gonna tear up the sandpaper. Talking about rough, extreme. Oh, nice. Just checking for messages or the chat, but looks like the people are just watching, which is okay. Okay. Well, as you can see, the roughness of the wood, the cement and concrete, it really tore up the sandpaper, like in the middle, and literally a piece is missing here. So I'm gonna replace it because I sanded down all of the concrete, and then I'll give it one more rundown to make sure that every piece is perfect, because it's gonna be in the house, and I don't want any splinters sticking out. basis. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm checking every now and then how many people are viewing. Thank you so much for being here. It really helps to get the channel to get more exposure, and also thank you so much for subscribing, because every Friday I will release a proper build video. I try to make it cinematic, so you can look forward to that as well for tomorrow. Okay, so that's it pretty much for the sanding. Next up, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna put it together, because I already know I'm gonna deviate just a little bit from the plan. Wait, retake. So next up, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna put all of this together. I know already I'm gonna deviate a little bit from the plan, so that's why I need to figure this out as I go along. Okay. All right. This to the side. So this is the bottom and the top piece. This here is going to be the back piece. I'll just put my phone on top here. So one piece on top, one piece below. You know what? I'm gonna put it on the ground because I really have not enough space to work. Shot. Okay. Just put it like this. I hope you can imagine what it will look like. So this is the bottom piece, this is the top piece, and in the middle I'll put a support piece like this. And initially I thought I'm gonna put it against the wood, but I will leave a little bit of space because I want there to be space for my laptop underneath, and if I have the shelf underneath here, I think there's plenty space to the back. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna make that piece. Um, yeah, so that's the next order of business. But I think that also like part of the stand of the monitor, it can slide into the wood, if that makes sense. So what do y'all think in the live stream? I mean, can you see it before you? Like, wait, my pencil. Like, I can still cut out like a big chunk here, so there's space for the laptop. But then there needs to be some sort of support for it here. I could just put up a piece of plywood, of course, that would do the trick. Let's see what is wise. If it's fully open to the back, that might actually make it both easier or harder. This is usually this is like the moment when it's time to take a break, when you're stuck like this. But I'm limited by time, so I have to make this happen today. So that's why I gotta find a way. I gotta push through. So yeah, maybe I should stick to the initial plan. Like the initial plan was to cut out a piece here for the laptop, and then what I can do is this piece that I cut out, I can turn it like so, so it also becomes the support for the laptop to the back. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. Now the other only thing is that I plan to order a gaming laptop because it will make the editing much easier. But I think it's quite a bit thicker than my current laptop, so I need to make sure that it is the right size, so that it's big enough. Let me put it like that. But that's small potatoes because that's just a matter of making it a little bit bigger. Then, as for the shelf, what I can do is I can let it slide into each other. So, like, okay, I'm gonna retake this for the main camera. Alright, it took a minute to figure this whole thing out, and I think I got it. So my game plan is to cut out a piece here that will be wide enough for a future laptop that might be thicker. And then the piece that I have cut out, it's gonna go horizontally, so that also is gonna be the support for the laptop. And then for the shelf below, I'm gonna cut out the piece here and also in the new piece of wood, so it can stick together like so. So it will be yeah, held in place in that way. I think this is gonna work. see. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm figuring out the size here, like, the biggest it can be is 40 because that's the width of the whole, okay, retake. All right, so I'm figuring out the size here. So the biggest it can be is about 40 because it's also the width of the furniture, but I think it's a bit overkill. So if I do it at 30, I think that's gonna be plenty. And just to make sure, I have my current laptop and it would fit in between here. Now, the only thing I need to figure out is the thickness. So I'll just move it like so a little bit. I think if it's approximately this size, that should be plenty. Just continue marking this. I need to straighten this out. I will use my carpenter square for both ends. How much is this? 5 centimeters. I'm also thinking of something else. I want the monitor to slide into the wood, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna get the monitor to see how thick this is and how deep this is. So this monitor is actually quite a bit bigger than I anticipated, but it's gonna fit for us. So. Um, okay, so I want this monitor to slide into the wood. So I'm gonna. What is this? Oh, that's how it's connected. Okay. All right. The ruler. All right. So the depth is 8 centimeters, and the width approximately 1. So 1 by 8. Okay, 1 by 8, and approximately here is the spot. Oh, no, what's so. All right, I'm continuing to think, since this is going to be cut out, I'm just going to make a shelf that fits around it, and then I'll put 2 pieces of plywood underneath, like really small pieces, and have it drill in. That's the best that I can think of right now. And this piece is gonna come off of here. One last measurement, and that's the foot of the monitor. So that's this one is 23. So to make it future proof, I think it's gonna be pretty much the same actually. It's gonna make that 24. So I'm looking for a piece of wood, piece of plywood of 24 centimeters. I got this old piece of scrap wood that's already sanded down, so I can use that to go in front here. And of this piece that I cut off this morning, I will, I think I'll cut it off until here. And then I'll cut that in the length. So I got two pieces of plywood. Let's double check this for size. So that's 2 inches. Okay. I'm checking for the length because I have 2-inch screws, but I can use it because the strips will be 2 inches each. Plus this is 3/4, so that's gonna work out just fine. One thing for sure though. This is not going to be the high-level woodworking skill project. This is going to be made quickly and strongly, and it's going to be completely utilitarian. So just on the side note. carry this around, so I know until where I need to sand it, because this side is pretty rough again. So I'll put back the old piece of sandpaper to sand this part. Alright, with the regular video I can cut it out, but yeah, definitely happened. You definitely heard that this time. I farted on the live stream and people heard it. Only one person is watching, so might not even have been registered. Did it happen? Alright. Let's do some cutting. Okay, time for the jigsaw. don't need to clamp it. Let's see if the monitor fits. Oh, how about that? Wonderfully. Okay, some more sanding. Oh, this one. Oh. Empty battery. All right, so the live stream. All right, so right now I'm thinking about the chargers. Like there's going to be an extension cord built in, and I want there to be a place for the chargers to have them out of sight and also not, on the floor basically. So what I'm thinking is to make a couple of holes, to make some holes in this plywood here. So there's going to be one for the laptop, maybe I have no idea, like below here, and then one for the monitor below here, or maybe even to put it more out of sight, to have both of the chargers up here. So that's something I'll have to decide on as well. And I think it's not gonna interfere too much with the screen. If the power is pretty close to that, I think it's okay. Something to think about. But yeah, right now is the time to think about it, because once this whole thing is done, it's gonna be much harder to start drilling holes and making shelves or compartments for that. So, or it can be like a bracket maybe. The thing is also like the adapters, they don't really last. So I need to replace them on and off, and then it might be a slightly different size. So the hole needs to be big enough too. Or, since it's actually pretty low, I can just have them on the bottom as well, but that's a little bit disorganized. I like it to be a little bit organized. If you have any suggestions, drop it in the chat. Also drop if you know what I'm talking about, because I might not be too clear on this. What do I got in my toolbox? Maybe I got something for this. Like some sort of bracket or something. Got these things. Could I use this for the charts or to hold them in place? Like I could mount them to the side like this, and I think because I have two of them, I believe. So this is one. Where's the second one? Wait a minute. I got these two things, so I can use these as like mini shelves uh, for the adapters. I think that makes sense. Like one can hold. Oh, it's not gonna be big enough. Um, can I let it hang maybe? How can I do this? So this means that I can mount this later on, so it's not gonna be something I need to worry about now. So I'll put this on my foldable workbench because I think I'll be using these to find a way to mount the adapters. No one is watching anymore. Oh boy. I need to up my streaming game. Hey there, welcome back. It's I just want to make a hole for the extension of that. So I ordered this for pretty cheap before the summer. So it's actually like a built-in extension cord, and I think it's perfect for this project because then I can just have it attached on the inside to the back. I just need to make sure that it is the exact size as this, and I think it's gonna simplify the whole game. And looking at the USBs, I think I'm gonna do it pretty close to the top. I'm gonna get some water first. Alright, so the phone is there. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna measure the size of this box. I'll just use this tool for that. It makes it so easy, so slightly bigger. So this is the width, and I'll just mark it here. Same with the length. Alright, so I need to cut this out of the plywood. Now I'll just drill a hole in the middle of it. Alright. I'll drill a hole that's big enough for the blade of the jigsaw. It may be big enough, I'm not 100%, so let's see. Okay, just... Let's see if it fits. That's okay, it's just a bit too small. and that's always better than when it's too big. Almost. I'm gonna flip the wood and try it from that side. Boom. Okay. Prima, snugly in place. I took my time because there is not much space around it and I wanted to look flush. Now, if you've if you're new to the channel, then you might not know yet, but I like screws. I like screws a lot, so I'm gonna use screws to put everything together. So I'm gonna start by marking the width of the plywood because I want the screws to be more or less in the middle. And yeah, the shortest size I have is 2 inches, so 2 inches is what I'm gonna use for this project, and I'll use a whole lot of them. And the reason for using a lot is that I want the force to be divided over as many screws as possible. Okay. Now, when drilling into plywood, if it lays down, you do not need to drill it, but it is needed to pre-drill it from the other side. So I drill in the screws until they just about stick out, and then I'll use the tip of the screws to make a marking in the wood, so I know where to drill the holes. Alright, so I put the side piece on an old piece of cinder block, so it's gonna be straight, and I can now make the markings in the wood. Okay, let's see. Now I can just about make it out, so I'll try my best to drill down in a straight line. I'll repeat this for the other side. So again, a whole lot of screws. Okay. So repeat here. Wait. The screws are not through enough. So. Much better. I need to use my hole puncher. The drill is drifting, so I'm gonna push this down in each of the markings to make them a little deeper, and then the drill will not start drifting. So let's drive in the first screws. Okay. So this is attached. Then the other side. Oh, crap. Okay. Okay, so next up I'll connect the pieces to the piece in the middle. So I will start with the support for the laptop. So I'll quickly mark the middle, which is going to be at 15. So I will put 2 screws to support this. I think that's going to be plenty. Okay, so same procedure. I will. So here are the screws sticking out, and I will just use those screws to mark the place in the other plywood where I want it to go in. And then I'll do my best to drill it. This one might be hard though, because it's very close to the plywood. Oh, what do you know? About minutes. So I will also start by marking the middle of this piece, which is 26 centimeters. So at 13 is the middle of this piece. Now the support is gonna wrap around the piece here, so I'll mark this, mark this, so I have an idea of where the screws need to go. I'll put in 2 screws. Mark the middle. Mark this middle here. Right, well, that's it first, because it's shifted and I'm not sure where it's gonna end up. this slides around it like so. And I'll just drive in a couple of 2-inch screws. Okay. Now for the next part I need to wait. Now for the next part I need to continue on the floor because I simply can't fit it on the workbench. Gently, gentle, gentle. And stays in place too. And then this part. We'll go in the middle, right about here. It's a bit of a contraption, that's oh boy. Alright, I'm gonna measure this distance here. So mark it. Same from this side. So I'll repeat it on the other side. Alright, it's only attached with 2 screws. Let's see how it feels. It feels pretty sturdy. I just need to look at it from a distance, so I'm gonna put it on the other side and see what it feels like. Okay. So yeah, this whole contraption feels like one huge prototype. Like this is what I had in mind, like to have my monitor at a decent height. So when I sit on the couch, I can. Well, not in the frame. Retake. All right, so this whole thing feels like one big prototype. Like what I had in mind was that when I sit on the couch, I will have my big screen in front of me, and I will have like a laptop thing for a Bluetooth keyboard and a Bluetooth mouse pad, so I can control what's going on the screen, and to the back to have like a spot for the laptop to stay, so it can stay plugged in and also be properly cooled. All that seems to be working fine. The only limitation right now is that I'm running out of time for today, so it's almost near the end of my time slot that I have available for this. But next week I will have the time, more than enough time to catch up. So that's not the big problem here. The only thing is that I'm running a bit short on ideas because right now this needs to be secured. It's loosely on it. I don't think that's a good idea. So we'll need to find some way of securing that. And also, I just want to check this out because this was the idea as well, to have like a little space underneath for the monitor to go as well. So it can also double as like a mini entertainment station. But the thing here is that this wood here, it's sticking out, so it kind of prohibits like the angle of view, but if I sit back like so, then it might actually work. So that's something I need to consider as well and evaluate. So what I will do is I will take it into the house and see how it feels there, but I have a feeling that this lower shelf, it needs to go lower, but the nice thing about plywood and screws is that it's very easy to take it apart and to change it up. So that's the good thing right there. So I'm gonna call it a George for today. I don't think I should continue now because I think I will make a better product if I take more time for this. But yeah, it's really interesting to see this far. It definitely feels like a prototype once again, and I think I'm onto something here. I also need to find something to secure the laptop, and like how it's loose to the back there. So those things I need to reconsider for next time. All right, so I'm not leaving it the shot for the live stream. Let me take out the phone. I've been streaming for, wow, 2.5 hours. Imagine that, pretty long time. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope this was a nice hangout, and I hope that you learned a thing or two. I also need to up my game with the streaming stuff because I can guess like what the phone is pointing at, but I'm not 100%. But all of that is part of the process and part of a way of getting better at this. I'm just excited about the version 1.0 of this. I think by next week when I return to this, it's gonna end up really looking like something. But for now, this is what it is. Also, thank you so much for subscribing. That really helps the algorithm to push out this content, so more people can enjoy Jelmer builds things. Anyways, have a good day, and I hope to catch you on the next one. I try to do this regularly on Thursdays. The only time in the end of the month, October 30, and I believe November 6th, like the week after. Those 2 weeks I will not be streaming. But other than that, consider this weekly something. That's it. That's the live stream.